And a band is finally getting the momentum that I feel they deserve. Now, Monkey Boy played their song last year. Yes, September of 2020. And our flagship station stuck with that song for a year because we just felt it had something. And now they're getting that momentum. They're killing it on Foundations. Number 16 last week. Wait until you guys see where you put them this week. It's pretty freaking cool, man. Fun, energetic, and as stupid as it sounds to say, a fresh, familiar feeling. I give you the band Ronin. How's it going, guys?
Good. Thanks for having us.
And check it off. Chris, Jack, Bojack.
Hi.
Now, you just put that Bo in there so people didn't confuse you with Jack. Is that it?
No, that's like my actual name.
That's your actual name. Okay. And then also Justin. I'm not going to forget Justin, man. The drums starting off in Temptress, that rhythm, and then it blasts you in the face is freaking awesome. I love that kind of theme that goes along with that rock. I really do. Now, first, the band name. Let's talk about that. Was that something that just hit you guys in the face? You're kind of like, hey, whoa, we're like Ronin.
Yes and no. At first, we were we were just a three-piece, like in 2018, December. We were going visiting a band of our friends, and we were going to potentially open for them. So we were going to the show, and we're like, well, what if someone asks us, what's your band name? And we didn't have a band name. So we spent like a week going, all right, let's just sort of brainstorm. And Ronin just kind of stuck out to us. And, since then it sort of kind of solidifies our sound, and we kind of just move in and out of all the genres of rock music, not really having any master, so to speak.
Not having to answer anyone, and just kind of, do you kind of feel like you guys are the defenders of rock now?
Just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we're ready for any fist fight. If copyright would allow, I'd say we're the Avengers of rock.
Hey, I like that. Hey, Ronin's an Avenger, man.
Yeah.
So it actually didn't. Aren't there rumors that Hawkeye is Ronin?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think canonically he is.
Canonically, yeah.
But we're still in talks with him.
Yeah. We're talking to Jeremy Renner for spokesperson deal.
Yeah.
You guys
get him on a cameo.
You guys are out of Long Island, right?
Yes.
Okay, Long Island, huge music scene. I mean, think about it. Was it Billy Joel came from there? Public Enemy. There's a slew, man. Pat Benatar. Blue Oyster Cult is even from there. What is the music scene out there like? The competition. What is that like?
I'd say it's pretty intense. There are so many bands that are out in Long Island. It's kind of crazy. A lot of my friends play in multiple bands. I have this one friend of mine. He's a drummer. He plays in 3 bands. I have another friend of mine who's a drummer who plays in like 2 bands. I think the only person that I know who's a drummer that plays in 1 band is me.
Well, I guess that's good. You're not moonlighting.
Definitely not.
That kind of throw a wrench in the works. Be like, well, hey man, no, I got to play with one of their band tonight. I can't do you guys.
Yeah. But no, it's crazy. There are a handful of great and talented bands that are out here that I believe definitely, deserve a shot in the limelight when they, get that opportunity. And it's very saturated. It's almost very hard to not see a show every weekend or every week whenever you're out in Long Island. You could literally just open up Facebook, check out, the events on Long Island, and there's just a plethora booked all the way until like even February of next year.
Yeah, it's like almost every night somewhere on the island something's going on. The tough part is there's so many cover bands, and they usually take precedence over like the original acts. So trying to cut through all that noise, and like Bo was saying, there are a lot of good original live acts on the island that are really just trying to push, and Ronin's one of them. We're trying to get to the forefront.
So you're
cover bands aside.
You're not the only person. So then you're not the only person that I don't mind a cover here or there, but when I go out, that's the same thing with like the dance DJs and stuff too. So where people, well, we're getting a DJ. It seems like people are like gravitating away from like bands and live performances for their events. And it sounds like that's kind of just as annoying to you as it is to me.
It doesn't even make sense.
Well, wouldn't you rather hear like somebody's talent and what they can do in their own stuff instead of like regurgitated radio crap?
Before he says anything, he's leaning forward, so it's going to be good.
We've had two shows now at these venues where they we wind up being the closer, of course, big mistake.
Headliner.
But the headliner. We're the relievers. That's what we are. So we come out, we play in our show, and people are actually calling out, one more song, play something, keep it going. And they're buying drinks and they're having fun. And then they'll be like, no, you guys don't have any time because we have a DJ coming. You guys got to get out of here. And then the whole room clears out and there's nothing, no one buying drinks, no one having fun. And it's like, why didn't you just let us keep playing for 15 minutes? It blows my mind every time it happens.
So these places actually book DJs after a live show?
After our show.
Yeah, our last show after us, it was a DJ came on and it was Britney versus Lady Gaga.
Wait a minute. They had a theme?
Yeah, it was Britney versus Lady Gaga, like a dance-off kind of thing. Nobody was there. All of our fans left, and then it's just an empty bar.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. Doesn't that say Disney Channel movie to you?
Yes.
And I would proudly star in it this time.
Hey, you probably spend expense for it too.
Yeah, my spandex, everything picked out.
Actually, what I'm thinking about is, have you guys heard of that movie that came out? It's supposed to be the sequel to She's All That, the old 90s movie. It's called He's All That. Yeah.
I think it's like a Netflix movie or something.
And when you started talking about the DJ booked after a live show, I started thinking about it. They're at their prom, and the principal is like, "Where's the DJ?" And this kid is standing there. He's like, "I am." He's like, "Where's your stuff? Where's your scratch pad? And he's like, "Right here." And he's pointing at his phone. And then all of a sudden, the kids go into a dance contest. So now you're talking about this theme and a DJ playing. I just got that picture of like a Disney Channel movie in my head.
Yes, it's not just in the movies; it's in reality.
We are available for proms.
We are. Full band.
That would
put your head on my shoulder.
How cool would that be, though, to have Ronin play your prom?
I mean, hey, our contact information.
We're not against it. Yeah. We're not good. We don't take requests, though. I'll take requests. So take that outside.
Yeah, that guy in the back. Led Zeppelin. Guys, take me back before Ronin. Was it all about music for each of you, or did you kind of end up just going to music, finding that later in life that's what you wanted to do?
So I guess we can start with.
I'll start. Yeah, so I've been playing drums since 4th grade. So for me, it's been pretty much my whole life. I always joke with them that I actually play the drumsticks and my drumsticks play the drums.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely been a lifelong passion for me. And I've never really branched out into playing guitar or bass or anything like that. I've always just stuck with what I'm good at, playing the drums.
Okay, you found what you liked early on.
Yeah, definitely. I was a big Rush fan growing up, so of course you're naturally drawn into the drums there.
Okay, hey, you're a big Rush fan. Now tell me, is the story about Neil Peart true? How he came to be in Rush?
Well, he tried out. He wasn't on the first album, and then the second album is the first one that Neil Peart is on.
The first one he was on. I had a drummer years ago tell me that he was actually called out of the audience at a bar show when their drummer didn't show up. Do you know, is that true?
I don't think so. I think they had legitimate open tryouts and he went and blew them away.
Okay.
I think it was the bat signal. They put up like a and then just brought it in.
Okay, I know who the comedian in Ronin is now. So let's continue on. Were it
I'll take it.
Was music always your thing, or?
I mean, I always loved music.
Okay.
I was in chorus and choir going through grade school. But I made the mistake of not picking up a guitar until I was like 25. So like a lot of wasted time of not playing guitar, but I've always loved music. I was in choir forever with Jack, because we all went to the same high school, Bo outside. But, always was in love with music. I can remember my first band that I really fell in love with was Creed. Like them or hate them. They were huge in the 90s. And like that was sort of my gateway into other music. And, since then I just, still love music. I wish I played guitar earlier, but music's awesome.
We all wish you played earlier.
Yes. So does the audience especially.
Hey, you do a good job.
Hey, what did you pick up the guitar yesterday? No, it was last week.
Come on. Give yourself some What about you, Bo?
So music has always been a very integral part growing up. My parents were both musicians. My mom played piano. My dad was like the manager of a Spanish orchestra when he was like out in Colombia, because they're both immigrants.
Really?
And yeah. So with me, I've always had a fascination for just being musically inclined. I spent hours playing guitar. I played bass. I do play drums on occasion, piano and stuff like that. Before joining Ronin, actually, I was in Buffalo for 2 years, and I was the front man of my own rock group, and I played, keys and stuff like that. We did a bunch of Pink Floyd covers and whatnot. So music has always just been very integral. And then playing shows, going out there, and I guess, sharing my story and growth as a musician has always just been something very fascinating. Like the last time that we had a show, which was like AMH, we had this band, Stonehenge, from Long Island. They played. They're this group of 17-year-olds. They're still in high school. They're very young. They're very talented. But afterwards, they came up to me. They're like, "Oh my God, like your stage presence is so good and all this stuff. Like, how do you do it?" And I was like, "Well, I took the time to practice. I took the time to study the craft, do character studies and whatnot. And it just kind of shared from there. But music has always been a very important aspect. It's actually a very integral aspect of my life, to the point where I work from home and I'll literally sit at my computer chair with my guitar and bass, and my girlfriend will sit across from me doing her homework, and I'm just doing my thing. It's
just
great.
Getting lost, and next thing you know, oh shit, it's dark outside.
Shit! I forgot. I gotta do this. Spreadsheet.
Billable hours.
I forgot to play bass today.
I forgot. I
spent all this time with guitar.
Exactly. I forgot to practice bass today because I was too busy on the 6th string.
Oops.
Yeah.
And last but not least, what about you?
I studied too much music. I did all my.
Oh God, he's leading.
My entire time in school was all about music. I went to I actually studied opera in college. All right. Let me restate that. I was stupid enough to study opera in college.
I was going to say, you studied opera, so you're operatically trained.
Yeah. I'm an operatically trained guitarist. I play a bunch of different instruments, like all the woodwinds and all those. I play some keys. I only really picked up the guitar once I joined up with Ronin. Before that, I was running a ukulele band called Bad Larry that it was more folk oriented. Yeah, I know.
I actually didn't know that part. That sounds badass.
Yeah. And I've had professional jobs singing for churches, and I've had professional jobs, playing in bars for absolute low life gutter. Let's not go there.
It's very nice people.
Too much. But I will say this to any of your listeners. If you're going to go to school for music, just go and get a teacher and study something that'll make you a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Get that educational license.
There you go. Learn.
Yeah.
Hey, learn while you earn.
Yeah,
It's like,
it didn't work. Yeah.
now,
You can't learn better.
God, you guys are fun to talk to, man. I want to talk about Temptress right now. Now, I mentioned a little bit before about how it starts off with the rhythm, and then all of a sudden you get, lack of a better phrase, blasted in the face. It just takes over that whole rock sound. Now, was that something that just happened, or was that actually the way it was written?
It's a little bit of both, honestly.
I don't know if I remember.
Like, really, out of necessity, when we first started playing it live, just to make sure we were in time, I was like, all right,
Okay.
boss, give us a quick, 4 count of the rhythm, and then we would kick in. And I was like, for the recording, I was like, well, why don't we just try it, because we could always cut it after. And then we were trying to figure out, how do we make it sound different enough from when the whole band kicks in, where it has that effect. So we were talking over with our producer, co-producer, engineer, Frank Materatona, over at Voodoo Studios in Port Jeff, where we recorded. And he was like, well, what if we just use the room mic? Because we had the idea of like almost like sounding underwater,
Right.
kind of feel. And like, we had no idea how to get that effect. He's like, well, what if we just use the room mic from like the other corner of the room? And we tried it the one time, and we're like, this sounds pretty good.
Worked out.
And it really helps boost, Jack's nice, beautiful, blistering solo in the beginning to really just sort of get the song going.
It's just that it's one of those things that sticks in your head. And I think that's what grabbed me right away when I heard, because if that little piece of rhythm section wasn't at the beginning of the song, I don't think your song would have got stuck in my head for like 3 days as it did.
Yeah, as I tell them every day, I made that song.
The drums capture.
Yeah, like nice solo.
I don't have underwater for 10 minutes recording those drums.
I had to hold my breath. But I had 2 record reps that were like, why do you keep reporting this band Ronin? Why do you keep on? And I was like, dude, they stick in my head. Listen to it. It's going to happen to you. And then all of a sudden I saw you guys hit Foundations. I saw you like, I think 49 the first time. I was like, what the hell? Cool. And then you were like upper 40s second time. And I was like, yeah, it's happening. Okay, cool.
This is 28.
Well, 28 on the mainstream indicator. And then on Foundations, we jumped to 16. So we're hoping for top 10. We'd like to see that next week. Yeah.
That's what I don't know. I have a feeling in the back of my head. I don't know for sure, but I can see like some of the stuff. I got a feeling that you guys are going to be like at least 13 this time.
Nice, lucky.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Don't beat me up. We're
gonna fly out and find you.
Where are you located again?
It's all right. We'll get
it's like, well, what's your physical address?
That's okay. I'll just use my computer. We'll find the ID.
Okay. I finally want to thank you for the in-song solo because over the years, bands have gotten away from putting the in-song solos in. There are some in there, but for the most part, respectively, it isn't in the songs. Everything is, some don't even take vocal breaks. It's just the vocals all the way through the songs. And it's like, okay, but this actually feels like a rock song to me. I mean, to me, a rock song is musicians showing what they can do. Not just a mishmash of what's going to get us on the radio, get us airplay, and make us money. And I feel that you guys are more about what's going to get us on the radio, what's going to make us money, what's going to get us airplay. And am I wrong in that thinking?
I don't think so, because a lot of times, like with this first album, each song has a different feel. It almost feels like it's part of a different subgenre of rock music, and that's sort of our whole approach. Is like, if we're feeling like playing a pop punk song like Temptress with like a little bit of Volbeat flavor in there, that's what we write. That's what we play. We have some other harder songs, like One and the Same on the first album is more traditional sort of old school 80s type metal.
And that's so long it's never getting on the radio.
Yeah. We kicked off our album with the 7-minute one. That's what we threw everyone a bone with Temptress because it's under 4 minutes. But we still kept it rock. Like everything we have is still in its core DNA, just like pure rock music.
Okay. And now one thing I have to visit is I just saw when I asked that question, I saw Bo going like this.
Okay.
It's like, why were you doing that?
So, all right. So Temptress is, a very poppy song in comparison to the rest of our,
For sure.
or in comparison to the rest of the album. Because when I joined the band, I'm not even the bassist on the album. That's a whole different guy.
Oh, okay.
When I listened to them, because I was listening to them before I even auditioned, because there was a whole audition process. I sent them like a bunch of links. I sent them like, all the stuff that I could do.
It was rigorous.
Audio engineering. I was like, get me in because I'm being coerced.
He stalked us for like 6 weeks.
I stalked him for 6 weeks. I was being coerced by other bands to like join their group, but I really wanted to join them.
Some not suitable for work photos.
We still have lawsuits going.
So like in comparison to the rest of it, this was definitely a very pop rock song, and I love Temptress. But when I listen back and I listen to a lot of metal, I listen to a lot of like weird mathy Tool stuff. Like my favorite songs are like Spider and Fly and Greetings, and those are like heavier or the heaviest songs in our album. And looking at the creative flow, I can see where we can definitely reach certain genres in the radio, but most of it has just been, from what I know and from what I've played, just an expression of, everybody's individuality in those instruments. Because when I picked up the bass and started playing like all of these songs, I started adding my own, bass fills and runs to complement the drums. And also because I kind of need to, or else I'm going to like, go a little too hard with my strumming.
And to kind of add to that, I think when we're making our songs, of course we want to make money, we want to be famous. Yeah. But we really it's kind of cliche, every musician says this, but we really try to play whatever's best for that song. We don't think necessarily, what does Ronin sound like? We think, all right, we have this song, we have this riff, what would be best for this riff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, especially when like Moss comes in with the drums. There's a lot of times where, this is going to sound silly, but there's times where he'll like just stop playing and just like listen to us jamming. And then, to an outsider, be like, why isn't he playing? But he's trying to figure out what is best for like that riff in that section of the song. And then if the riff gets repeated later on, he's like, how can I change up my drum pattern that fits it later on where it feels fresh in the song? Like, do I add something else? Do I play on a different cymbal? And like, that's kind of, I think, an extension of what he was saying, how we just try to make sure whatever part of the song we're working on, every part that we're all playing individually sort of works for the song as a whole.
Works for the song, but still gives people something new. That's kind of that's a really good theory to work off of. That really is. I mean, that's gonna keep people listening to the band. You're not gonna get stale.
Yeah,
that's
definitely the idea.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to get stale. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. As I said, your song is pretty high on our countdown right now, so I will be playing you like in probably just about an hour.
Nice.
Or Temptress in just about an hour. But I want to play something out of our chat. And what song would you like me to play? I was going to pick one myself, but then I thought I'd ask you guys.
Spider.
Yeah, we'll defer.
Great Gig in the Sky.
Great Gig in the Sky. Okay, you're going to bed. Get out.
I personally would like to hear Spider and Fly played. I think that song definitely deserves some love. It's a very awesome song. When Vitaly played that bass line and I learned it, it's very groovy, it's very funky. It's definitely on the alternative side, and it's definitely a little darker.
Yeah, we've gotten some Tool comparisons, especially like the vocal approach is definitely like Maynard at times for sure was an influence.
All right. Okay, well, that's what we're going to do. Who wants to intro it?
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
You're all over it.
Oh man,
Hey,
You're on it, Bo. Go.
you set up all the equipment. You get to pick the song and into the song.
All right.
You're welcome.
Don't fuck up.
Don't fuck up. Okay. Hey, this is Bojack from Ronin speaking, and you are now listening to Spider and Fly off of our self-titled album. Check it out.
Wow, that was really good. You had like a cool radio voice.
So funny enough, I was on a podcast show in Buffalo for a little bit. So like I did like introduce songs.
Put some bass into your voice.
Put some bass into
Or you
it.
have to go the other way. Go WNBC.
This is Bojack.
Which that shit is true. I did not believe that until I actually went out to DC and got a job at a station in DC. And the station I was at was 99.5. And there was a station across town that was 95.9. Okay. We actually had to open up today's best mix, 99.5. Oh, that's what it was. It was 97.5 and 99.5. That's what it was. So we had to 99.5. Oh,
Don't
God.
touch that dial.
2 weeks, man. I lasted 2 weeks. Then I was like, fuck this.
I can just imagine how often they need to practice those changes and inflections.
A lot of mirror time. A lot of self-reflection.
It's annoying. Well,
It's sociopathic stuff.
And no one likes it, right? Like you never talk to a person in your life that enjoys that kind of style.
No.
oh no, it's fake.
It's just like, yeah, it's like the station
You're
director.
not supposed to enjoy
The
it.
ratings keep going down, and they're like, "This is what people want." But if no one's listening, why is that what people want?
Okay, it's fake as hell. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I mean, sometimes it was one of my probably favorite things, and just because I have a weird sense of humor, I guess, was going to when we'd be doing a remote someplace, and people would come up. See, I do not change my voice or anything. This is me. It's like I'm not your quintessential radio guy, and but there are like, I would say 2/3 of the people in radio out there that they're all about the voice and the puker kind of. Well, the funniest thing to me was going to the remotes and having listeners show up and talk to like some of the DJs and not know who the hell they were. It's like, what the, and then, one, before I got in rock, we all have to do what we have to do to get where we want to go. And before I got in rock, I had to work at a hip hop station. It was the most moronic thing I ever saw in my life, man. All these 45 to 50-year-old guys trying to act like they were like 20 to 25 and black.
Which is a great look today.
I was like, man, are you kidding me? Whatever. You know, I could go on and on about how fake radio is. But
No, it's like what Mas said. You got to pick your moments. You know, and it's just same thing for making commercials and making music. You're gonna get stale if you're not going to change it up every once in a while. They
If
need
you're
to
not-
take a page out of our book.
Yeah.
They should.
Which is for sale, by the way.
oh, there you go. Oh, that's
Nice
another
coffee
one.
table.
Entrepreneurs.
There we go.
Put out coffee table books. Hell, make your
selling
own brand of coffee, man.
Yeah.
It's like-
It's NSFW.
The best part of waking up is some Ronin in your cup.
oh
Ronin in the
God!
radio, Ronin in the cup.
Of course, now you know I'm going to hear that. If I ever hear that jingle, I'm going to hear Ronin instead of Folgers.
There you go. My job is done.
Bam, we've hypnotized you.
Guys, Ronin-band.com is your website. What other platforms are you on?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I actually just picked up on the Twitter end of it, so all those retweets
Okay.
and likes, that's coming from me.
YouTube, we have a YouTube channel with a couple lyric videos up there.
Yeah, that too.
Pretty much everywhere, I would say.
I personally prefer Soapbox over a platform.
Or soap opera.
Well, I guess it could be soapboxy, but well, it kind of depends on the person doing it too. Unless, like, if you want to get up and preach, this is the word of Ronin.
This is what I would say. Our website has pretty much everything listed that we're on, where you can find us. I would say that's the best way.
That's definitely
It's like everything short of our
Also check out our
personal
merch.
Yeah.
I was okay. I was just going to bring up the merch. What is your favorite thing that's up there? What should people get off the merch store?
I say buy an album and buy a shirt. That's the best way to support us.
Yeah, we do have physical copies of the album, which is also just like another kind of throwback thing.
That's
children of the 90s that thing.
Which is starting. It's so freaking weird, man. In about the last 6 months, I've had listeners start asking me for download codes. And it's like, just go to the website and buy the fucking album, man.
Or for a download code, it's like, all right, just go to iTunes.
The only problem with the iTunes is, what do you make? Like hundredths of a cent or something on a download?
For the streams is
Nothing, man.
It's a fraction of a penny.
It's like 0.004.
Yeah.
I had one guy tell me that if he got 1 million streams on Spotify, he could take me to breakfast and probably pay for most of my meal.
That sounds about right.
It was like, what's the point?
It all depends on like paid subscribers versus the free Spotify subscribers. So like you could earn anywhere between, it's like 0.0024% of a penny to like 0.0084 of a penny. It's really a wild sort of West.
Okay, that blows my mind. How are these big guys getting away with that? Because like
because they're the big guys.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like we have to pay what is it, 0.0017 per spin just on Sound Exchange alone. That's not, and FM stations don't have to pay Sound Exchange. That's just for streaming. And then that's aside from BMI and CSAC and SOCAN. It's like, how are these big conglomerates getting away with like raping you guys for the most part?
You see, I have a theory that it's actually every time you've ever seen a successful musician who looks like they're very wealthy, that's all just for show. Like no one ever actually has made money off of music. It's impossible.
It's kind of true. They play until they die. They just keep playing live shows until they die.
Neil Diamond still goes out there.
And when they die, their estate is then more valuable than they were.
Well, this is not a classic rock show, but I have had some guys on here that have like started a second or third band, and they're actually from like the early 80s genre. And I've talked to them and they're like, yeah, music business isn't anything like it used to be. We used to get money from the record companies and go out and tour. We got the money from all the merch and everything. And it's like, okay, but think about like 1985. If the internet was around, could you see Ozzy Osbourne updating his merch store?
Right.
You know, it's like things change, and you just have to kind of move with it. And you guys are definitely doing it right.
Yeah, I definitely say just to kind of go back on that point. Most bands now, they mostly make their money off of touring and merch. So buy our merch.
That's what we always like pimp that every show multiple times. You know, request is one of my favorite things, because it doesn't matter if it's a radio station near or far. If it's a radio station that you listened to when you were in high school 10 years ago before you moved like 1,200 miles away, call them up, request the freaking song. It's all going to work the same.
Yeah.
You know, and help the bands out. And I don't know. I hope it makes a difference. I hope that's why, like, I'm seeing like these jumps after interviews, because and my new music guy, every time he plays these bands that are brand new and have really good tunes out, you know, he always like, go to the show, support these guys, support these bands. They're going to go away if you don't do it.
Yeah, and that's what I think the big lesson of the pandemic was, like how important sort of that side of entertainment is. And, you know, live music going away for a year was pretty crushing, especially for us, because we were starting to build momentum, and, you know, but I guess everything happens for a reason, because we got our good friend Bo is now here, helping us sort of push back even harder than we were before. And now look at us, we're on the charts and stuff. Momentum's rolling. So
yeah, he's definitely a power bot, generating a lot of force from the base.
Thrusting upward. You take anything from this interview.
Great. Okay, now instead of Folgers, it's Ronin in my cup. I'm going to be hearing, and I'm going to be thinking about both thrusting every time I hear Ronin.
Please feel free to think about Ronin.
You guys are giving me all these mental images. I'm just going to have to shut up.
Oh, man. But no, on that note, thank you, Chris. I really do appreciate that. It's been a blessing to be a part of this group and to also, expand definitely with our upcoming, releases and demos and stuff like that. I'm going to be playing a decent role. I'm actually going to be recording and sound engineering it all in-house to kind of see where we go from there to kind of keep most of our money in our pockets.
Yeah, what were you charging us?
Free $99.
Free $99.
Free $99. So
he's still going to charge us 99 cents.
I'm going to charge you 99 cents, but I'll take a coffee voucher for that. Yeah.
You'll take a what?
I'll take a coffee voucher. I have a very serious addiction to caffeine. It's pretty bad.
So okay, all right. Well, as long as dude, talking about addiction to caffeine, I worked with one guy at one station that he used to make his coffee with caffeinated water.
Oh, that sounds so fantastic.
I was like, dude, how are you not shaking like an old 80-year-old man? Like, what the hell? But anyway,
I got here. The double shot espresso that I pounded.
Double shot of Ronin.
Double shot of Ronin. There we go.
Hey, whatever works, man. Thank you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate it. And I want you guys to remember the Real Rock Nights is for the fans and it's for the artists. So this is your show. You got something you want to get out there, use this as a platform, man. Or soapbox, if you will.
Thanks, really appreciate it.
Well, while we're on the topic, if anybody listening right now is going to be in the Poughkeepsie area in December, on December 4th? Yeah, December 4th, we're going to be playing a show with Accept.
On the Chance Theater.
The Chance Theater.
Ooh, balls to the walls, man.
Balls to the walls. Yeah.
And not the Little Johnson.
Yeah, we're actually super excited about that. The tech writers already.
Yeah,
so excited
up for that one. That's a big opportunity for us to open for them at a legitimate theater.
Like at a theater that actually has seats.
And by the way, no Lady Gaga versus Britney Spears after that show. You can still bring spandex. Please bring spandex.
I mean, I guess you could tailgate with those if you want.
I was going to come out, but now I know there's no dance off, so the hell with that.
Well, we're going to have a big hotel party after.
Okay.
And that party, we do take requests.
Yeah.
Well, no matter how stupid it is or anything, if it's even like a 15-second video of you backstage saying hi to your fans, send it to me. I'll get it on the website. I'll get the audio on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like,
we're probably going to do dozens of those.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, man.
No shortage of stupidity.
We did a video where if we didn't sell enough tickets, they were going to throw me into a lake of milk.
Yeah. We came very close to throwing him to a lake.
Very close.
He's lactose
I'm lactose intolerant, man.
Why did you choose milk?
Lactose intolerance.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
it might have sucked for people around you.
The tough part is getting the lake full of milk. That's what the trick we haven't figured out.
Yeah, but luckily we got safe. But please buy our merch, buy our CDs.
Save the child.
Come check out the Poughkeepsie show if you're in the area, because they will try and throw me into a lake of milk again. Please.
Plenty of lakes upstate.
Well, if you're not in the area, drive to the damn show.
Drive to the area.
It'll be worth it, man. It really will.
So
hey, what are people going to see at a live Ronin show? What do you like to do on stage? What do you like to do for the fans?
So,
Thrusting.
thrusting. I dance a lot. I move a lot. I know Jack does a lot of the same movements.
I like to play.
You like to play?
Well, that's good.
Do a lot of pantomiming.
One of my favorite things that I do is I'll I like to do a lot of audience interactions while I play bass because I feel like bass players don't really get that much.
Yeah,
they don't really
yeah.
interact with their audience that much, unless you're like Flea or Les Claypool or something like that.
Who's got no
Fantastic.
pants on?
Come out with a sock.
He just has a sock on. I'm not stripping or anything, but I do like to do a lot of audience interactions. If you do show up to a Ronin show, you're going to get a lot of energy. You're going to get a lot of banter from our frontman Chris, and he has.
I like to talk.
He does like
A lot of eye contact.
Yeah, lots of
eye contact.
uncomfortable eye contact.
And,
Just walk up to the edge of the stage.
We
Stare.
should do a segment where you can come up and sit on Chris's lap. You can still sing directly to you.
And I would say our live shows
What are you
pretty
doing,
authentic.
step bro?
What are you doing, Seth, bro?
Sir Brazzers logo. No, but Mas brought up a good point.
Yeah, so I would just say our live shows are really pretty authentic. We don't spend time in practice saying, all right, when we're playing this song, you stand back to back with me during the solo. We don't really plan anything out like that. You know, we just bring a lot of energy to our performance. Like Bo says, he's all over the place during the show. So we're not a choreographed act, I guess is the best way to say
Yeah,
it.
it's really not. You're not going to find gimmicks and like sort of like a lot of sparklers.
You're just gonna get
like just a raw, in your face rock.
Yeah, you might get cursed at a little bit.
Some four letter words, some comfortable language.
Yeah,
Well, hey, it's rock and roll, right?
Yeah,
you might get a very feral look from me. You know, I promise I got my shots. But every time I do that solo, it's like, hey,
something comes over him when we do our cover.
There's just this thing every time I play that bass solo. I'm just like, I just get these crazy eyes. I'm just like,
watch out when the glasses come.
Watch out when the glasses come.
Guys, let's give the listeners a taste of the other side of Ronin. They've heard the pop side. We're trying to do an interview, man. Come on, dude. Seriously.
That's one of our sons.
That's our roadie.
That's your roadie. We only have one. That's our roadie.
Yeah, he came in here to shove some hot caulk in there. He had a caulk replaced. There's some leaks in the gutter.
Oh, that's what. Okay. Guys, let's give the Real Rock listeners a taste of the other side Ronin. They've heard the poppy side. Now let's give them would you say this is a little more technical?
Say it's a grungy alternative.
Grungy alternative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very, very nice dark. It's literally like the other side of the coin. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. That's
Enjoy.
that's what we love around here, man. Both sides of the coin, always doing it. Spider in the Fly, it is Ronin, is right here, right now on Real Rock Nights.